Hey, couch potatoes, it's Alex with CouchDotCom. It's never fun to get something on your couch that needs to be cleaned off. Whether you spill some apple pie on it or some red wine, it's usually a bad time all around, and it creates a lot of anxiety. However, it can be fun to think about all the different things that might be the worst possible thing you can get on your couch to get out. So today on CouchDotCom, we're going to explore some of the worst things and hardest things to get out of your couch. Red wine. Red wine is like sort of the quintessential thing that people think about when they think about the worst thing to spill on your couch. Spoiler alert, it's not the worst thing. First of all, you have to wonder how you're spilling red wine on your couch, and I think we all know the answer to that one. So the best thing to do here in practice is prevention. The truth is that with red wine, there are actually a lot of cleaning products and a lot of fabrics these days that can repel red wine or other liquids with a very, very strong staining quality or staining power. And there are plenty of cleaning products, as I said, that can clean something like that out that you can find on Amazon or at your local Home Depot or anywhere that sells, cleaning products. Best way to clean it? Try salt and boiling water. It's a sort of an old wives' tale or a home remedy, so to speak, but it may be worth a shot. Chocolate. Now this is a bad one. This is definitely in the running for one of the worst things to get out of your couch because not only does chocolate have a lot of oils in it that can really seep into the inner workings of the fabric, but it has texture too. And the texture, if you've noticed, you think about when you've gotten chocolate on something, and we're all guilty of this much I know. You think about getting chocolate into something, and what do you picture yourself doing first? You picture scratching it out, literally taking your fingernail or something else, scratching it out. So that can often spread it around a little bit or sometimes make it worse. So you want to be really careful when getting out the texture of the stain, and then ultimately you're left with a residue or oil. You want to use the most powerful cleaning product that you have to get that type of stain out. Specifically look for ones that are good for chocolate. It's a very common stain. Best way to clean it? Something heavier like a laundry detergent or dish soap. You may want to go out there and find the best cleaning product that's specifically for chocolate, but if you want to give something a shot at home first, try that and it might work. Coffee. Similar to red wine, coffee is a liquid solvent with a very high stainability factor. That being said, it is actually less staining than a red wine can be. Anything that can get out red wine, or certainly anything get out chocolate, can also get out coffee from your couch. Best way to clean it? Try something that's vinegar-based, or actually use some white vinegar in your house to lift the stain. Since coffee is a natural product of the earth, something like vinegar is often very good at reducing some stains like that. Ink. Now, ink certainly seems like one of the worst stains out there, but it's actually one of the easiest to remove, especially if you have a polyester-based couch. So back in the day when I used to sell couches on the showroom floor, we would have what was called the pen test. This was right when microfiber was just getting popular in the early aughts, and people didn't believe that couches would be actually easy to clean. So what did we do? We had a pen handy in the showroom, and we would give it to the customers. We'd say, hey, you want to take the pen test? They'd say, okay. You want just to draw on the couch? We'd say, yeah, just give it a nice draw. They would draw on it, and then we would take our magical powers of straight up rubbing alcohol and a cloth, douse it, dab it, rub it out, and it would come out every single time. There was that one time, however, where we were selling couches inside a Costco store as a special event. So I gave the pen to this dad walking by, and he thought he was being funny. He went up to the couch, and wouldn't you know it, he drew a big pair of breasts on there. That took a long time to clean out, but it came out with a little rubbing alcohol. Best way to clean? Rubbing alcohol. Curry. Yummy for the tummy, but not so good for the couchy wouchy. Best way to clean? Any stain remover and cold water. We'd recommend starting with that and see if it may need a trip to the dry cleaners after that. Tomato sauce. Mamma mia, what are you doing dropping the tomato sauce? Don't you know to fold your napkin in your shirt when you eat the Italian meal? Come on, everybody knows that one. Best way to clean? Detergent and cold water. Try a mild laundry detergent, ideally one that's unscented and a little bit purer, to see if it gets the stain out. It should be able to come out though. Blood. Okay. Now this is a really good one, and a home remedy that I learned that actually amazed me. If you get blood on your sofa, call 911, no, just kidding. If you get blood on your sofa, what you want to use is some hydrogen peroxide. It works like a miracle. If you have a little piece of blood on your sofa, whether it's dry or not, you take a little hydrogen peroxide and pour or douse it on that specific area. You don't need to worry about using too much. It's not gonna damage the rest of your fabric. Pour some on and you'll see it starts to foam up where the blood is. And if you think about it, whenever you put hydrogen peroxide on any of your cuts or bruises or scrapes, bruises, they don't bleed, cuts or scrapes, you will see that it starts to foam. Well, the same thing happens on fabric, and it actually allows for the blood particles to come to the surface so that they can be wiped or cleaned away. Best way to clean blood? Hydrogen peroxide. And finally, the #1 hardest thing to clean from couches is oil. Now, there are oils of various kinds, and they're in various things like chocolate. Chocolate, I mentioned earlier, has oil in it. However, oil in its purest form, like an olive oil, vegetable oil, things of that nature, coconut oil, these can really get deep, deep, deep into the very inner workings of the fabric and can be the hardest things to clean. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely. But think about oil stains that you've gotten on your clothing before. They can often be very, very difficult to clean. This may be a situation where you might want to take it to a professional first before starting to try something on it at home. If you have removable cushion covers, definitely think about taking it to the dry cleaners on your way home from work. Best way to clean, take it to the dry cleaners and say a little prayer.